Hello, my name is Kholilur Rohman. Today, I want to make a presentation about pragmatics. Let's see. What is pragmatics? Number one, the study of the use of linguistic sight, words, and sentence in actual situation. Number two, studying the factor that govern our language choice in social interaction and the effect our choice have on others. Number three, the study of how context contributes to meaning. Explain aspects of linguistic structure with reference to non-linguistic stress and cause. Pragmatics is the study of the meaning of invisible, or how we recognize what is meant even when it is not actually said or written. In an interaction, the speaker in the interaction must rely on assumption and expectation that are shared with the listener. And investigating this shared assumption give us information about meanings that are not visible interaction. Next slide. Difference between pragmatics and semantic. In pragmatics, we focus on language use, and in semantic, focus on meaning. In pragmatics, context dependent, in semantic, context independent. And then pragmatics domain to rhetoric, and semantic domain to grammar. Pragmatics treat meaning as a relationship that involves three aspects, where meaning is defined in relation to speaker. And then semantic treat meaning as a relationship that involves two aspects, where meaning is defined solely as the characteristic of expression particular language, separate from the speaker, the addressee, and the situation. For example, the type of room that you want is full, sir. Semantically, the utterance means the type of room that the guest want is not available, which means that the receptionist informs the guests of something. When analyzed pragmatically, the speech is not merely to inform something, but is intended to ask the guest to choose another type of room. Thus, conducting of pragmatic study, one must seek what the speaker means, whether it is direct speech or explicitly. Next, and then advantage of studying pragmatics. Let's see. In pragmatics, we can express the other meaning and can adapt to different situations. And number three, can interpret the meaning of language. Number four, makes utterance clear or unclear to the speaker and her listener. The benefit of studying language through pragmatics is that the people can express the other meaning. The meaning and the important disadvantage is that analyzing the people concept is hard objectively. And then the advantage study pragmatics will give skill that are include conversational skills, asking, giving, and help or offering help appropriately are the advantage learning pragmatics. And the last one, the advantage of studying pragmatic is gives a fuller, deeper, and generally more reasonable account of human language behavior. Without pragmatics, there is often no understanding of what language actually means, or what a person truly means when she is speaking. The context and the social side, body language, and the tone of voice, or the pragmatics is what makes utterance clear or unclear to the speaker and her listener. Yes. And next slide. Scope of pragmatics. Let's see. Number one is implicatures. Number two, presuppositions, and then thesis, speech act, aspect of discourse structure, and the last one, definites and indefinites. The explaining is there are several fields that are studied within the scope of pragmatics in linguistics, including one, deixis. Deixis is a form of language that does not have a fixed reference, and its meaning is highly dependent on context, such as the location and identification of the person, object, event, process, or activity being discussion. And then presupposition. Things that are assumed by the speaker as an event before producing an utterance. And then conversational implicator. Yes, number one. The explanation is something the speaker means is different from what is said or implied. And then speech acts. The product or result of a sentence under certain condition, and is the smallest unit of lingual interaction. Yes, like that. Next, meaning of context in pragmatics. Number one is physical. When we ask the meaning of an utterance to someone, often does not immediately get an answer, but instead get a question back. For example, what was the context before? Well, from this response means that we can conclude that the meaning or intent of a language or speech is determined by context. Then what exactly does it mean with context? Why must meaning be determined by context? Are we unable to interpret speech or language without context? And to answers, let's take a look at this question here. Number one is physical. Yes, includes the place and time or language used in the communication process. That's right. And then number two, epistemic includes the same background that is known by the speaker and the speech partner. And then linguistic cannot be separated from the ability to choose word, past, clause, and sentence that will be used as speech. And then number 4, social. It is a social relationship that is owned by the speaker and the speech partner. I think enough my explanation about pragmatics. Thank you.